oh yeah, maybe in like 30 years it would look something like that could happen.
Yeah.
Yo, it's here now. A lot of stuff is here now. Like this is moving. The sooner you understand the memo, man, the better it's gonna be for you and me and everyone.
Yeah.
You know, because you will have to capitulate. Your business will have to capitulate. Your institution will have to capitulate. It's a website, and there's a little button in the middle that you click. When you click it, it gives you Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And on the outside of the website was just advertisements. Loaded the whole website, not one pixel free, only advertisements.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to welcome onto the Naka Nation podcast Bitcoin OG Austin E. Alexander. Give it up, super goat. Let's
Okay,
go.
very good.
Let's go,
That's
Austin Alexander. I feel like this is really bringing me full circle because you are the one that orange pilled me. I am in Bitcoin. You are directly responsible for me getting into Bitcoin. You're the first person that ever talked to me about Bitcoin, and you're the person that persisted and continued to talk to me about Bitcoin to make sure that I got off of zero and got
And
onto a Bitcoin standard. So,
one trick pony is the only thing I know how to talk about.
well, you're really good at it. So, thank you.
Oh, cool. Well, it's an honor to have shown you the light, the bright orange fluorescent light.
Yeah, I mean, you identified this trend very early. So, maybe you could kind of take us back in time. If we could do a little time traveling here.
You mean to identify the trend of Bitcoin?
Yeah. How is
Okay.
it that you were able to see this way before anyone else? I mean,
I think when I was like 19 or something, like somewhere between 17 and 19, I saw a book that was well, it had like it wasn't about central banking, but it had some stuff about central banking, and it was almost better that it wasn't about, because the whatever information they were talking about central banking, it was like an aside, and then I
mhm.
was like, well, that can't be how that works, you know? It seems so absurd
Yeah.
that it's like, well, these guys just sit there and then they decide the interest rate when the interest rate is like the most important price of all prices. It's like the price of time versus money. It's like
Yeah.
the most important price. I was just at that point, just the first time I was just beginning to understand what interest rate even meant, you know? And then right
Mhm.
after, I'm like, wait a minute. So these people decide the interest rate because when they sit at a table,
Yeah.
it's not the market. And I thought it was so absurd that I thought it must be incorrect in some, like I'm missing something to it. And so then that I don't know, those following days, I just went to try to understand how it worked. I don't remember exactly what I did. I think I went to like literally my library of my high school and like found some economics book which said basically the same thing, but in a way that, oh, how great it is.
Yeah.
You know, pure Keynesian, like
Yeah, yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
high school econ Keynesian textbook that I had never seen in class. And then, yeah, I thought it was crazy. And so then started reading about the gold standard and other things. And I don't even know. I don't even remember the things I read. And then, so I just became like, okay, I think gold is better system. It seems like, you know, that was a better system. And did some things. I did a lot of things. And then um, I think that helped me get primed for it a bit. And actually, speaking of the conference here, I was like starting. I think I read a book by Peter Schiff that he had written like a while back then. So this is however many years ago,
Yeah.
more than 20 years ago. And then so I was like already familiar with the name. And then he started the podcast, Peter Schiff podcast, at some point way back when, like 20. He must have been 2010. He started that. I mean,
Yeah.
2011 or 12 at the latest. I mean, at the latest, I think it was 20. It must have been 2010. But I'd already been hearing that a little. Anyway, I went to after doing some other things, I went and joined of the Mercatus Center in Washington D.C. or in Arlington, Virginia, I think technically. and that's like one of the it's like an economic policy think tank,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a particularly like sound money free market tint, angle to their think tanking, whatever the hell they do over there. And there was like a podcast about Bitcoin, somebody interviewing somebody about Bitcoin,
Sure.
and it was Jerry Brito interviewing Gavin Andreessen about Bitcoin. And at the time, Gavin Andreessen, he was the number one developer. Satoshi had already disappeared by the time
Mm-hmm.
I got into Bitcoin. He was again. This was like mid. It had been like May, April, May, June. It was like summer 2011, and so Jerry Brito and I had to listen to the podcast multiple times, twice, I think. I had to listen to all this guy's podcasts twice, and I'm sure they
Yeah.
were all great or whatever, but I don't remember any of the other ones. And I remember that one, and he I had to like write some bullet points. I think that's what like my assignment or job was. I don't know. I was like, I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
the president of the thing, and and so that one got my brain turning more than any one I'd ever heard. And I think I might be confusing timelines, but I think Liberty Reserve had just gotten shut down, maybe like right then at that time or just immediately prior. And so, you know, that like the whole kind of alternative money digitally type of thing, or like online, or like internet
Mm-hmm.
online money was already, I'd already thought about that a little through Liberty Reserve and seen like how it failed, Liberty Reserve.
Yeah.
And so I got really interested in it, in Bitcoin, from that, just the next few weeks. And I was lucky enough that there's a guy besides Jerry Brito who was like literally right down the hall who knew all about it already. And there's another guy who was a great guy. Cord, well, I shouldn't say his name. A nice guy, man. A guy
Yeah.
working there that he knew about Bitcoin too, at least a little. Nobody knew anything, made a lot. And and then after the podcast, and the other guy who was in the office with me that we shared, he got into it too. And so we started showing each other websites and stuff like this Bitcoin. Look, this one has Bitcoin. You can do this, or
Yeah.
what could you do? Not much. You he he was a lot. He was a high IQ guy. He's a lot smarter than me, man. And so he had gotten some Bitcoin one weekend. Like we came like the next weekend. He's like, oh yeah, I got some Bitcoin,
Yeah.
and I don't remember how he got the Bitcoin. I'm sure he told me at the time. I don't remember how. And then he like gave me some, which was worth maybe like it was $5 each or something.
Oh.
Yeah, but it wasn't even $5 each in my brain because he gave it to me for free.
Yeah.
I literally had no value to this. I was like, oh, like the discussion was how theoretically someday it could have value,
Yeah.
but in my brain at that time there was no value. Like
Yeah.
even if it was $5, because then, so long story short, it went up to like $28 very shortly after, maybe like 2 weeks or something. Like it had its first big pump. I mean, I guess that's the first big pump, and I was like paying attention,
Mm-hmm.
passively a little bit. And we had also gone on some faucet sites where they gave free Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
thought that was cool because I got the free Bitcoin. And then this guy was really smart. So he had like a little hack. So we got extra free Bitcoin from the faucet, more than they wanted to give because of
Nice.
some slick stuff he did. So then I was hyped. I was like, oh, this thing, and now they're saying it's $28. And so I don't remember how many Bitcoin I had. I honestly don't remember, but it was the most money I ever had. When it
Yeah.
went from like whatever, $3 to $28 or whatever, like I don't remember the exact day by day,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure I'm confusing some things of this happened first or whatever. But I
I
remember,
remember, by the way, reading about these faucets, that these faucets were giving out 5 Bitcoin at a time.
oh yeah,
So
yeah, no.
five
Even
Bitcoin
then,
today, Bitcoin's 100,000 today. That's $500,000 in just
e-
free money.
they were when we were clicking on them. I think so. Here's how it looked. You had the website, and then there was multiple.
that's
This is how the one that I
that's absurd.
remember looked. It's a website, and there's a little button in the middle that you click. When you
Uh-huh.
click it, it gives you Bitcoin,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
on
yeah.
the outside of the website was just advertisements, loaded the whole website, not one pixel free, only advertisements. And then one pixel where you can click for the Bitcoin, and you
Yeah.
can click once every so many minutes or whatever, and you have to reload. So I think what they were doing was a hack. It wasn't like before they had philanthropic Bitcoins where I think Gavin Andreessen had given out thousands where they were giving you the 5 Bitcoins, whatever. By this point, there was a new business model which I think lasted probably this big of a window because after it didn't make any sense once the Bitcoin started running. The guy's like, "What am I doing giving out Bitcoins for ad money?"
Yeah.
So what happened was they want to get like impressions on all the ads they're hosting on this website, which is infinity ads, and then you click and there must be something about how the user must reload. So if you reload it every 5 minutes, then you could get the new more Bitcoin again. And there was
Yeah.
two or three of these competing, I think.
Mhm.
And then I think what it was is we were sitting in the table, like our lowest level of the employee of the whole building type table,
Yeah. Yeah.
two computers next to each other, and then he had a little timer in the background of his computer that would just go deet. And every time you heard the deet, you go to a new window. I don't even know if they have tabs back then. I think literally you had to go there was one window per browser,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And you go to the window that you have open of the faucet, reload them all, and then click, 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 close them all, or like minimize them, and then get back to working whatever the hell you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we did that at least a few weeks. We were doing that every day, like every
Yeah.
20 minutes or whatever it was. Every 5 minutes, it might have been able to beep like a robot collecting the
Yeah.
Bitcoin
Yeah.
from the faucets. And so I think then I started to assign the value. I assign the value because I'm doing the work. I
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
go to the
Yeah.
thing and click the button every
Yeah.
however many minutes, and then the Bitcoin comes. So it's not free. Now I have to work.
Yeah.
And so then I get to like okay, this is like something's happening here. Like there's some value being like something's going on. I could, you
Sure.
see that kind of thing. It looks super scammy with a million advertisements, but
Yeah.
somebody's getting paid.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
then after like few days, I realized I'm getting paid the Bitcoin. Like
I'm
this
the
is,
one getting
yeah,
paid
it's
here.
real
Yeah.
money. Like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
were giving out, I don't know, 0.01 every time you click
Yeah.
something like 1 cent, maybe 1 cent. I don't know what it was, but it was collecting. And with me
Mhm.
and him together. Oh yeah. So the other thing is that I had a computer that was like, God knows, a 2010, not 2009 Dell, the cheapest computer you can get. If you
Yeah.
go to
Yeah.
walk
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
Best Buy
Yeah.
or whatever,
Yeah.
I did not have any kind of high. I wanted it, but I didn't have it.
Yeah.
And I so I like installed the Bitcoin QT. It wasn't called Bitcoin Core back then. It was called Bitcoin QT.
Mhm.
I installed the QT client, which I believe at that time was like the only one you could really find. Maybe there was others, but I think I remember like trying to figure it because I didn't like the software.
Yeah.
I installed the software. I'm like, oh my, this is horrible. I
Yeah.
don't. Is
Yeah.
there
Yeah. Yeah.
anything else I can use? There wasn't anything else you could use, I don't think. And the Bitcoin QT, so I loaded up. I even you had to of course sync with the blockchain, which was much
Mhm.
quicker and easier back then. The first thing that happens is the software runs, and then like after 1 minute later, the fans the computer couldn't handle the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. Yeah.
computer couldn't handle the
Yeah.
Bitcoin QT, and so then we had my work computer, and right next to it was the media computer, which was like powerhouse,
Yeah. Yeah.
where they were editing the podcast or whatever they were doing. I mean, I was
Uh-huh.
doing stuff on it. I don't remember what I was doing,
Yeah.
but I was like, "Oh, that thing will run it, no
Yeah.
problem." So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
installed it on the media computer,
Uh-huh.
and the media computer had no fan. You didn't even hear the fan.
Okay.
The thing was, computers were really different back then. Man,
Yeah.
computers are really cheap now.
Yeah.
It's really.
This is like 2010, 2011.
I think this was the summer of 2011, and then
Mhm.
so I put the QT on the media computer. So then I put the Bitcoin on the media computer because
Yeah.
I couldn't, I it, I'll tell you another thing. It was very difficult to learn anything about the Bitcoin. Once I tapped out the guy sitting next to me, who he probably had some stuff, reserved, whatever. But we talked about it all the time, at least for the few months or whatever. Once I tapped out the our boss in the back and Jerry Brito and
Yeah.
whatever I had been searching for, to go on Google and type "teach me about Bitcoin." You didn't find it wasn't like you had these incredible resources. I
Yeah.
remember there's the maybe they were there, but I didn't find them. And it wasn't like I didn't have any meetups, Bitcoin. I'm at that point, I was like probably in the top 1% elite luck
Mhm.
by being able to speak to someone who at least had the faintest idea in person
Yeah.
about Bitcoin. That would have been completely unheard of for 99% of people looking into it, getting interested in it. But past that, the I remember the one website where I found the most stuff. It was like some erratic, clearly like crazy person's blog, like some schizophrenic
Mhm.
who half the time was talking about um it was like Jewish banking cartel conspiracy stuff, stars, like some star stuff like of
That's so
something to do
funny.
with like star alignment stuff
Yeah.
and Bitcoin. All
All on
mixed
the
up,
same
all
page.
mixed up together. Like one, there's no like one article for
Yeah, yeah,
what is
yeah.
today's astrological assignment or alignment mean. It was all like in crazy ramblings of some like schizo genius or something
Yeah.
that had a lot of stuff about Bitcoin.
Okay.
That so that I mean, I it was interesting. I'm sure I learned something from there. I don't remember what, but it was also in a way like it was like it made me think, okay, this is like it's not this isn't a sure thing, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
this is like some psychobabble stuff, you know?
Mhm.
But maybe the Bitcoin isn't pure psychobabble
Yeah.
stuff. And then oh, so then I went home 1 week or whatever. I went home on and for some reason I think this was like a 3-day weekend or something. I don't know what, but I went home. I checked the price on the Thursday or Friday. Went home for the weekend. We didn't go. Then maybe like the next Tuesday, I'm back in the office and we look at what the price is. And like whatever the price was back then, it wasn't like you had
Mhm.
a crypto watch desktop with, I mean, it was like whatever it was a much shittier user experience and like uh actual price. It wasn't like a real price
Yeah.
in the way it
Yeah.
is today. But whatever happened, like Mount Gox uh like crashed to basically it was like to nothing. It was at
Yeah.
$28 and I go home thinking like, oh my God, my life is so great. I got $1,000 or whatever. I remember
Yeah.
how much money it was. It was but it was more than $1,000 by a good
Yeah.
amount. But
Yeah.
to me, it was by far the most money I ever had in my life. By
Mhm.
far.
Mhm.
'Cause I never had any money. I mean,
Yeah.
barely. I had some money, okay. Like, I guess the statute of limitations. But I was like, I had worked my whole life since I was a kid, but like it was like thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin was $28. And I come back and it was at like $3. Oh, after the course of 4 days. I didn't check the price while I was at home, you know? It
Yeah.
wasn't like I was
Yeah.
checking the price of Bitcoin every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, then it was at $3 and it
It
wasn't
went it went from 28 down to 3 in a
in like
course of a couple days.
something like that, like
Yeah.
less than a week for sure. Like within a quarter, with that weekend, I think.
Yeah. So
Uh,
what are you thinking at that point?
so
You
I'm
haven't checked the
thinking,
price in a couple days. You
yeah, and I'm
come
like,
back,
okay, I
it's
got a lot less thousands of dollars, but I still had some. I think it was still like a few $1,000s. So it must have been
yeah.
a few thousand Bitcoin. All
Yeah.
right. I mean, I think it was at least 1,000 Bitcoin, and I think so. It was still worth something. But then I had been looking into how you can how you could liquidate it or something. Although
Yeah.
I didn't even know the word liquidate back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
how do you sell it? And when I'm looking into how to sell it, it isn't like very easy to sell it.
Mhm.
And I mean, maybe there was the start of BitInstant or on some website somewhere on the internet, they were
Yeah.
offering good PayPal. There was like one called like BitQuick. There was a few,
Yeah.
but for whatever reason, like I either couldn't sign up for those or I don't remember. But I remember that was like it was for sure clearly upon research of a few minutes much easier to just buy drugs. To buy drugs to use the Bitcoin to buy drugs was way easier than
Yeah.
using the Bitcoin to buy dollars,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I mean, I didn't really want drugs, at least not that much drugs. That would have been a lot of drugs. And uh
Only the legal ones, guys.
no,
Only the
no, no,
legal
no.
ones.
They
Yeah.
also sold t-shirts, lots of
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'm sure they had a lot
You
of
were
great
just doing you were
They had a
doing
lot of great
market
this was yeah, I
research.
was doing my due diligence, my market research. There's a lot of great stuff for sale, a lot of bad stuff for sale. Just like
Yeah.
any store at any market. We go downstairs here to the lobby, there's a lot of bad stuff for sale.
Yeah.
They're selling all sorts of
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. It's just like scanning the like you were
All
saying
right.
the horoscope. So,
So I didn't want that.
yeah.
You know, to each his own. I'm very happy. Ross was here, incredible
Mhm.
speech, but I personally
Ross being
at that
Ross Ulbricht.
Ross Ulbricht, of course, God bless him. I didn't want that at the time.
Mhm.
At the time, I didn't want it,
Yeah.
and so I kind of just like I was like, "Oh, it's also" maybe, like, in the back of my head, I don't remember any moment where I was like, "It's over," or whatever, but, I was young, there's a lot of stuff going on. I was, like, in this, like I was in the f in DC, all, like, Ron Paul stuff was going on, and, uh, just kinda, like, forgot about it, and I think in my head, when I saw it went to $3, I was like, "Okay, it's like a Liberty Reserve or whatever, it's like a scam."
Yeah,
I was thinking at least the potential in my head of it being a scam went up by
got
a
it.
lot, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it makes
Yeah,
sense. I mean,
and I
that we're
and
not used to seeing that type of volatility in any other market, really.
no, I thought it was just, whoever was in charge of the scam got done with the scam, and I got scammed, and I got a few $1,000 crumbs left over
Yeah,
and whatever. And, I didn't get completely scammed, but I got mostly scammed, and I think I didn't although, in the ramblings of the schizo, he was talking about mining a lot.
yeah,
I think I didn't understand the mine. I mean, I know, I don't think. The thing I was missing for sure that I think if I would have understood at that moment, would have cracked it for me, was the mining.
yeah,
And specifically, like, how how the computer's guessing the number, like, tie it to reality, make it real.
yeah.
Um, so anyway, yeah.
So do I remember correctly that w you either sold off all of those Bitcoins or you lost it or the majority of
I
it?
didn't sell it, I didn't lose it, it was on the media computer,
Uh-huh.
and in my head, I'm like, "What am I gonna do with this? I'm gonna ship, like, 5 pounds of weed to my office or something? Like, what
Yeah,
am I gonna do with this?" And then I got on next week, I probably had heard some other podcast or read some other book, or I was like, "On to the next one."
yeah,
Something
onto the
else,
next
like,
thing.
the next thing in my
Yeah,
brain, yeah, the next obsession for the month or whatever, I don't know what it was.
yeah,
But the Bitcoin's like, I knew about the Bitcoin still, I thought about it sometimes, I'm sure, every now and then, but I never checked the price.
yeah,
I never checked it again after that $3. I remember after that $3, whatever that website was where I was checking the price, I never even like I never even turned it back on, you know?
yeah.
I like for complete and then years later, so I went and I left that job. I was working
But, hold on. All of
yeah,
those, Bitcoins that you'd mined stayed so all those Bitcoins, they just stayed on the media computer, right?
I
You
assume
didn't
so.
yeah. So those
The other guy next to
whoever
me,
has that computer, we want it back. Bring it
no, I went, bro.
bring it back.
You crazy? You think a few years later, obviously I tried to figure out where the
Yeah.
computer was,
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
up
yeah,
with the
yeah.
computer. Trust me, man.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I'm on that 2 years later,
Just
I
we're
was
just
like,
putting it out
yeah,
to
yeah,
the
yeah.
public that whoever has that computer, if you could please bring it back, we would really appreciate it.
So I'll tell you, I tried to find the computer
I'd
in
imagine
in
so.
2000 and in 2013, but I didn't want to tell anybody why I wanted because 2013 the price is way up. It's worth a lot of money. I knew
Yeah.
it's worth a lot of money, more money. By that point, like I was like, this is crazy.
So,
I
I mean, roughly speaking, what's the price in 2013?
when this was so I was
When
in
you went back to go look for the
I
computer?
had there was this thing in New York. I had moved to New York at that point, and this was New Year's Eve 2012, and I was like almost midnight actually. And I'm standing at the door. I was working as like the doorman of a little private, like a private club, private
Uh-huh.
gathering. Totally legal for sure. Like
Yeah.
in a big space in New York, and I'm the doorman.
Mhm.
And then it was cool, but then it's also like they're all partying in there, and I'm
Yeah.
standing outside the door.
Yeah, yep.
And actually, I think it was your. I don't want to say names of people, but
Yeah, yeah,
like
we don't have to name names here.
the friend of yours, like I
Uh-huh.
like the guy a lot, but I was never close to him. Friend of yours from that you introduced me to when I was like 20 years old or so, or in high school or something. That I was never like, I never. I mean, I've never. It wasn't that we weren't like best friends or
Yeah.
anything. And then he texts me saying, "What about Bitcoin or something?" And I was thinking, like, when did I ever mention to this guy? Even at the time, I think. I mean, you know how the memories work. You
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah.
Even at the time, I think that I was thinking, "What is this guy talking about?" Like,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
when did I ever mention Bitcoin to this guy?
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
Yeah.
But it's not like I see him very much at all. I must have like gone to Florida, and I don't know. I mean,
Mhm.
so I'm seeing,
'Cause
and
you had obviously talked to him about Bitcoin at some
at
point
some it must
previous to
be
that.
right. It must
You
be.
left an impression on him.
I don't remember talking about it with
You
him.
left it. You left it. You charged it to
I
the
don't
game.
remember after leaving that moment when I like just when I went to $3 or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't remember even like talking about to it about anyone after that day. I think I
Yeah.
talked to about the guys in the office, like, oh, what a pity, what a
Mhm.
shame, like that seemed really cool or whatever our tone was,
Yeah.
and it was just it wasn't like, it just took the umph out,
Yeah, you just moved
something I
on.
was already like skeptical about, and then whatever happened, I don't know, but
So you just moved on from that. You left the
yeah, but I must
computer
have.
behind.
So anyway, that's why it was interesting because I must
Yeah.
have just mentioned it to this guy. Who knows when? Who knows for how long? I don't know when I saw him. Maybe I'm completely making this up in my head and it was somebody else or it
No,
never
I know
happened or
because you've told me the story several times
and you verified with him
previous to this, and yes,
and he was
I
saying,
have
"Oh yeah,
confirmed this with him as well.
we were talking about Bitcoin in 2012."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He so
I
who knows
wish
what prompted that?
I wish I remember that
So
conversation because
so basically you had forgotten about it completely. Couple years go
yeah,
by.
it was like a year and a half and it was the New Year's Eve 2012 and he texted me that and so, I think the cell phones had gotten a little better
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, what is he talking about?" So I searched on the cell phone, Bitcoin, what is the Bitcoin price?
Yeah.
And the Bitcoin price was like $60.
Yeah.
And when I
So it went
saw
up
that
from $3
to
to
like
60.
$60
Yeah.
and then like my life flashed before my eyes.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like I I was thinking in my head, "Oh my God, I destroyed myself.
Yeah.
I what did I do?"
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
like, and of course, like everyone, and then at the moment, the next few days, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Bitcoin. But of course, in my brain, I'm like, I'm too late.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
missed it. I missed it.
We missed the boat,
It's
guys.
over.
$60
Yeah,
Bitcoin.
I
We missed it.
literally, I
Yeah.
promise you, at $60, I was like, oh my God, I made the mistake. It's too late, whatever. Like a few days later, I'm calling the people, trying to find the numbers of the people I used to work with, calling, how's
Mhm.
everything at the office? I don't want to tell them, yeah, I left a bunch of Bitcoin on the computer.
Yeah.
You want to give it to me? Of course.
Of course. Yeah.
So, I called, the one guy knew for sure or whatever. I can't find him. The guy, the
Yeah.
guy, very, very cool guy. The guy who I do remember his name, yeah. And I have
Mhm.
tried to look for him a couple times. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't can't find him.
He's
There's
on
that.
some private island in the Mediterranean right now.
I don't know how much that guy was into Bitcoin.
Yeah.
At the time, at the moment, I felt like he understood more than me.
Mhm.
Who knows? He might have no coins today. He might have never thought about it again. He might be like, "Oh, that sucks. I wish I would have done XYZ." Maybe, or maybe he's got the private island. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find him. I couldn't talk to him. And like the boss, I talked to him. It's all so long ago.
Yeah.
And then I tried, and then I was gonna go to the computer. I forget what story I told him. I told him like my relative died and the last photos were on the computer, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, please, I need to come. Like my grandma is crying. Like
Mhm.
we have no photos of Uncle Timmy from
Yeah.
whenever.
Yeah.
Something like that I told him. And they're telling me, no, there's no chance. Every 6 months, we archive the footage because they were using for media. We
Yeah.
archive and we wipe every
Oh.
3 months, whatever, however many often. Because they're saying if you don't do that, then the computer gets wrecked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know what the hell.
It gets overloaded with memory. Yeah.
Something,
Yeah.
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 So
Of
they like
course.
we do it every month, every 3 months, every 6 months. I don't know, but by that point, it'd been many months.
Yes.
I was like, oh great, like so my Uncle Timmy's photos are gone, and Grandma's gonna cry, and then I went. What happened next? So then I was looking online for about Bitcoin a little, but we had a very serious. By that point we had a job. It was like serious job, a lot of work. We were going.
Yeah.
I was doing a lot of stuff, and then um, well, because I was doing so much stuff, and I was trying to make a break for myself or whatever. These guys in the office, they were all loving modafinil, and
Mhm.
I never taken modafinil in my life. I literally hadn't heard of it to that day. The
Yeah.
day I heard of it, it was the day this happened. And they're asking like something about modafinil, this and this. I Google modafinil. The
Mhm.
first website on the Google list or whatever it was, I don't think it was DuckDuckGo, it was probably Google. The first website, meds for Bitcoin. And I remember, bro, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Because at that point, I was like, I remember like whatever. Like you Google, you don't see, you have to go through pages back then, a year and a half ago. The
Mhm.
first time I seen Bitcoin in my history like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I just thought, oh wow, this is a sign. And maybe I was thinking like, wow, this thing's gonna be worth a lot of money because people are using it like
Yeah.
to pay, like something's going on here. And luckily, I don't think I should say who the name is, but
No, 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 no,
I
no need to
went
say names.
I went to buy Bitcoin on local Bitcoin that day
Yeah,
for Meds for Bitcoin or whatever. I went to buy. And also I was just thinking like I have to get Bitcoin. At that
yeah,
point it was like 3 days later, or maybe it was a month later. I don't know. But it was like since the New Year's Eve thing, I was like thinking about Bitcoin a lot.
yeah.
Uh
I can imagine. I mean, your journey started at 28, it went down to 3, and now it's at 60.
Basically
Yeah,
62, I think.
yeah.
I think it was actually 62.
So I
The
could
extra two
imagine
like really stuck in my brain.
I could imagine that starts twisting some gears in your brains
Yeah.
and
So I go
getting
on
you
local
obsessed.
Bitcoin, which a website I had never seen before, and I go and make a order or whatever you do on there. I mean, I know very well what you do, but you go and you make an order for Bitcoin, you go get the Bitcoin. I went to the Bit to get the Bitcoin at a coffee shop. It wasn't Starbucks, some other coffee
Yeah.
shop chain in New York. And who's there to sell me the Bitcoin? Now, at the time, I don't know him from anybody on earth, but let me tell you
Mhm.
now, everyone watching this podcast would know his name,
Yeah.
and he's brilliant.
Yep.
Like giga brain, super brain. And I go to him and I say, I need $62, whatever it was. I need
Yeah.
$100 of Bitcoin,
Yeah, yeah,
please.
yeah, yeah,
And he's
yeah.
like, okay, do you need $100 of Bitcoin? Or do you need $100 of Bitcoin and the mining fee?
Mhm.
And I had never heard of the mining fee because I think in 2011 there was no mining fee. You just submit your thing, and because they are so happy to be running the network, the miners do broadcast. The miners mine your transaction for free. Back then, back then,
Incredible.
the one or two times I had ever pressed a button and sent Bitcoin to something, or like which it
Yeah.
was not. I didn't really do that very often. I mean, I didn't know anything. The software barely worked. The software, even on the media computer, the software barely worked.
Yeah.
Um, so then I say, I guess the mining fee, like, well, how does that work? What is that? What's happening? He said, oh, you pay the miners. So why do I pay the miners?
Mhm.
He say, oh, because they need to do this, Y, Z. And so, well, how do they do that? Why do they do that?
Yeah.
And luckily, like the guy sat with me a long time, for maybe an hour or 2 hours, and he
Incredible.
explained the mining. And I was lucky that like probably the top 10 expert of the world was the guy I'm sitting there in the, I
Yeah.
mean, if you knew who I'm talking about, you'd be like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
crazy! That's a
Yeah,
crazy
yeah,
thing."
yeah.
And so he's explaining it to me, and he said one or two things. I don't know if he told me one and I made up the other, or whatever, or maybe he told me both. But my recollection of it is that he said, "Imagine like you're on the open ocean and there's a boat and you harpoon to the land. So
Mhm.
the boat's not going anywhere. Like you're
Yeah.
about to get sucked
Yeah.
out to sea, and that's the Bitcoin network.
Mhm.
It's this thing that's like out there. It's not like it's not real. It's just like could and then the miners like throw the harpoon and it's stuck in the land, and now we're not going anywhere. We're anchored.
Yeah.
And so I think almost for sure though what he said was like that the mining acts to anchor it to reality.
Yes.
And so then when I was walking home with my $100.63 of Bitcoin, or it was 63, more like $100.02. I'm sure the
Yeah.
mining fee was whatever of Bitcoin.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe he asked me for the mining fee only because he wanted to teach me.
Yeah.
That's probably what happened actually. He
Mhm.
probably was just so hyped that he wanted to teach everybody. And so I remember walking home and thinking like, okay, it's anchored to reality, meaning that if they just start writing laws about it, that's not it. Like if you're anchored to like physics, like
Mhm.
me and you can say whatever we want, but gravity's gravity.
Yeah.
And if we're anchored, if we really think we're something and we're, in Congress writing laws because we're so amazing and whatever we say is so amazing, it's still not going to defeat gravity,
Yes.
right? No matter how wonderful the king is, no matter how incredibly benevolent your congressmen are, they cannot write a law that overturns the law of gravity. So I was thinking like, yo, this is something else because this is like it's anchored into reality like gravity. Like this is energy or
Yeah.
whatever I was thinking. Who knows? I've thought about it a lot since. So I might be like, putting some of my wonderful insights from years later back into that moment. But
Yeah.
in the moment, I'm almost positive I'm walking down the street, 14th Street,
Mhm.
and I'm thinking it anchors it to reality. Whoa, that
Yeah.
is like the heaviest thing I ever heard at the time.
Yeah.
I think at the time I was thinking like this is the heaviest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
How could this be real? How is this happening?
Yeah.
It's like nobody under no and nobody knows. And nobody knows around me, the whole everyone I'm looking at, nobody knows this exists. It's here already. It's got invented and nobody knows. And even I barely knew.
Yeah.
And I was like, they invented this thing like nothing else in history. And nobody knows. This is
Yeah.
crazy. So I'm thinking, how this is like, must be it. This must be it.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, this is the thing to think about right now on Earth. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of great things. They're advancing rockets and doing this or whatever that. But at that time for me, I was like, this has to be the heaviest thing going on, and nobody knows.
I can imagine that's what the individual was thinking when he met up with you, or she met up with you and had that hour-long conversation. There's nobody else to talk to.
Yeah, exactly.
They're excited to talk to
Exactly.
anybody about this because there's
Exactly.
nobody else to talk
And
to.
so then for many years, I was the same way.
Yeah.
So I walk into the office and I was working for the wonderful, incredible Bitcoin legend, Nick Spanos.
Shout out to Nick Spanos.
And I walk into the office and I mean, he can read people, you know?
Mhm.
He's like, "What happened to you?" Like 1 second. And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Have you heard of Bitcoin?" And he had heard of Bitcoin. He had because this guy's working for all these libertarian politicians, going to all these libertarian type events, meeting all these people, and so he met a lot of ragamuffins, Free State Project, who all those
Yeah.
type of people. So he had heard of Bitcoin. I mean, not
Wait, he
nice,
had
but
heard about it, but he hadn't talked to you
I
about it
had never
before.
mentioned Bitcoin to him in my life. He had never mentioned Bitcoin to me in his life. Like we had never talked about it.
Very interesting.
Never. And he's
We're
like,
gonna have to double
"Yeah."
click on that later.
He's like, "Yeah, yeah, Bitcoin, but I don't know, whatever. It's like, the real estate's right here.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, let's do real estate instead, and let's do this and let's do that." And the guy's like 100 businesses doing this and that. Now I got to fly here. I'll be back in the morning and well, all sorts of the guy's
Yeah.
just a ball of energy and ideas, and he's a very, very admirable man. And in my brain, he was telling me, okay, well, we got work to do on XYZ.
Mhm.
In my brain, I'm like, how can I do that?
Yeah.
Like, how can I do that when there's the Bitcoin is here and nobody knows?
Yeah.
Like it's heavy, nobody
Mhm.
knows.
Mhm.
This cannot be the end. And like he's like,
Yeah.
okay, I thought it was the end already. And
Mhm.
I wrote it off. Like, okay. And that smashed me. I
Yeah.
face planted.
Yeah.
Right. I thought I was slick leaving the party and face plant right in front of everybody who's still partying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so I was like, man, I can't do that again.
Yeah.
Like I can't just like, oh, okay, Bitcoin's now $62 and I have $100 worth, and it's the thing anchors to reality, and but let me just move on. So I was
Yeah.
like, what do I do? Like, what could there be to do? So I started doing things.
So, Austin, I feel like we could talk about the early Bitcoin days for another 4 hours and not even cover,
Well, let's do it.
ho I would love to do that in part 2 on another day, but there's a lot of exciting stuff happening right now that I feel like we need
Oh
to.
yeah, right now is exciting. I'm just hitting my stride.
Yeah. So why don't we talk about that? I'm here looking at over at your Nakamoto, your beautiful
The drip,
Nakamoto
huh?
hoodie.
Quick fit check.
Yeah. Not
No,
only
they
did
did a good job on this hoodie. I'm bullish the hoodie. Naka's the ticker.
Naka's the ticker.
Yeah.
So not only did you orange pill me, you had to continue to deliver alpha and also get me involved in Nakamoto. So I have to
Yeah.
say thank you again for getting me into the Nakamoto. Thanks to you, I'm a Nakamoto shareholder, and now I've started this Nakamoto Nation podcast because of you as well. So thank you.
No, thank you. We all do our part in the Naka Nation.
We are all doing our part in Naka Nation. So, what are you doing in your part of Naka Nation? I understand that you were a pretty significant part of the raise there.
Yeah, I just joined with 10x Capital, and 10x Capital was advisor and placement agent on the deal. It's a great deal. I mean, I'm bullish. I've known David Bailey since sometime, like maybe 11 years ago or 12. Actually, David Bailey, when he did his first magazine prior to Bitcoin Magazine, he had a magazine called Why Bitcoin, even more retro, I suppose. And I think I called him. I think we saw the thing online or on, I think CoinDesk or something, and saw something about why Bitcoin or whatever, but I think I like cold called him or
Mhm.
like wrote an email and said, he said, "Oh, give me here's my number, give me a call." And I called him and I said, "We have this the Bitcoin Center in the middle of Wall Street. We're having all these people walk by. They love it. They want to know all about it. They're asking us what they can do, what they can read." And then
Yeah.
he said, "Oh my God, right in the middle of Wall Street, right in downtown." Shows up 1 week later or less, like overnight shipping a pallet of magazines. We had magazines for years, a year's worth of magazines, a box of like thousands of magazines. So that became like David Bailey's Why Bitcoin magazine. I was holding one in my hand hours a day for day after day. I can't imagine for the physical magazine that we were not the number one. If we were not the number one distributor of that magazine, I would be. I mean, maybe they're not including them. I don't know what they were up to. I'm sure they were up to
Yeah.
some crazy great stuff, like now.
Mhm.
They just keep level shifting up a new order of magnitude of orange pilling, Bitcoinizing the world.
Yep.
So that's why we love the crew over there. And but I had that Why Bitcoin magazine like for at least an hour or two a day, every day, talking to people, handing them the magazine. Oh, let me show you this article.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I'm trying to think if I could think of what any of the articles were because I read each of the articles in that magazine. I read. I mean, we had like he had. I think he had multiple issues, but he sent us so much of issue one, so much that it was like I remember the cover. I'm not going to describe it, but for the
Yeah.
covers burned into my brain. Why Bitcoin?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, he's killing it over there. The guy's the one of the, I don't want to say the, one of the, David Bailey being one of the um, most effective. Clearly, I'm trying to think of a way it doesn't even sound comical because it's such an understatement. One of the most effective orange pillars on earth, for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it's
So,
not even just, I mean, people are like David Bailey's a personality. He's incredible. But the team they have over there, from literally every single one of them I have ever met are fully aligned. Like this is like these people are they see they have the mission statement. Most
yeah.
companies you got the mission statement. It's like whatever, I don't know. You work at such and such accounting firms got the mission statement. You even know? You even
Yeah.
care? You don't know the missions we do accounting, we make the money. These guys, I don't know. I never read their corporate mission statement, but I'm sure it's epic. And all the people who are there, they don't even need to read it because they already before they read it are like they what's the right word? They're like
Like
embody
religious
it. Yeah, of course. It's like
religious level
religious. They're
conviction around Bitcoin
they're
basically.
infected.
Yeah.
They're fully infected.
Yeah.
Everyone there is fully infected with the virus, the
Yeah.
BTC virus.
Religious level conviction around Bitcoin.
Yeah, and some serious brains over there, some serious executors, and I'm sure after this, now that the mission is even broader, the mission is even more well capitalized, that there's going to be even more incredible executors coming on board.
So if I could kind of summarize here, um, when David Bailey told you about the Nakamoto opportunity and told you that he is going to be launching a Bitcoin treasury
Yeah.
company, it was a no-brainer for you because you've seen him
Look, I've
execute.
seen David Bailey every now and then um for years, I mean to say, I've saw David Bailey every, whatever at this Bitcoin conference or this event, whatever, for years, every now and then. And every time I talk to him, I'm like, yo, this guy is, he's got the energy. He's thinking, he's not thinking about next month. He's thinking about 10 years from now. What is this
Yeah.
going, what is it going to look like? How can we do this? How can we
Yep.
do this?
Yep.
He's not like, oh, everything's going to be infected, but what does this look once it's infected? Once when the virus hits,
Yeah.
now he's here. Oh, what happens when the virus hits the capital markets?
Yeah.
What happens when the Bitcoin spreads further? What happens when the
Yeah.
Bitcoin spreads further? What happens when the Bitcoin, you have a petri dish, and they always do. They put a petri dish and they drop the sample, the whatever contaminant they're trying to test or whatever, and you wake up and the thing is spread a little bit, the
Mhm.
mold or whatever,
Mhm.
and then how long? Not very long, a few months later, the whole dish is like done, and everything, is
Yeah.
the virus is spread.
Full coverage.
Actually, you know what? That's not the right way to view it. Actually,
Mhm.
I need to. Whoa, man! Thank you. You made me realize with
Religious
this
level
context. No, no. The,
conviction.
the
Yes.
right way to view it is we have a fiat virus. The
Yes.
fiat virus has infected the patient. The patient is on the deathbed, but we've been working in the laboratory down the street. We've been working in the basement in the hospital. We found a cure.
Yep.
Okay, so now we need to take the cure and inject it to
Mhm.
every infected part. We need to spread the cure.
Yeah.
Now we
Yeah.
have the
Bitcoin
cure.
is the Bitcoin, no question. Bitcoin's the cure. The the adage Bitcoin fixes that. Bitcoin fixes everything. It couldn't be more true. It couldn't ring more
Bitcoin
true. Does Bitcoin fix everything?
Bitcoin is not viral. Bitcoin is cural.
Mhm.
Bitcoin is the cure to the
Bitcoin's
virus.
the cure. Yes, Bitcoin is the cure to the Bitcoin is the cure to the fiat virus.
Bitcoin is the cure to the fiat virus.
There we go. So, so when David Bailey came to you and told you about the Bitcoin treasury company that he
Oh, he
was
came to me
launching,
way back
yeah.
before he's talking about this. He's came. I heard like many iterations.
Mhm.
It just kept it just kept sounding better and better to me.
Yeah.
He's got this. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. And then I see him whatever a few days, a few weeks, or a month later, and he's always on. Let me tell
Yeah.
you, that
Yeah.
guy's on.
Yeah.
That guy is uh uh process. That guy's thinking about Bitcoin, innovating how we can do this about Bitcoin, how we can Bitcoinize the world. Always.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe when he's sleeping, I'm not there, but every time I see him, he's on.
Yeah.
You know, and I could, so he told me this iteration. It sounded good. He tells me the next iteration. I'm like, yo, that's a good idea, man. You really been working on this thing. And you say, maybe I can help the little pebbles, a little pebble of advice.
Sure.
He's building the he's building the castle, but maybe I can put a little grout and help out. I like to help. And then he gives the next and I was like, wow, man, this is interesting stuff.
Yeah.
You can will this into existence.
Yeah.
We could just, the capital markets have a lot of money, and that money wants to go into Bitcoin. It all wants to go into Bitcoin. A lot of it doesn't know it yet. It's trapped in a bunch of knots, tied in knots,
Mhm.
but a lot of it wants to go into Bitcoin.
Sure.
And maybe if it doesn't know, it's gonna know. And a lot of it's just sitting right there in the capital markets and in zombies, in nonsense. And this and the same as there's just in a lot of but Nakamoto is a funnel. The way that Nakamoto delivers value is it's a funnel to get that money that's infected into the cure.
Yeah.
It acts as a funnel to get capital into Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And you know, that's a very valuable, very, very, very valuable thing. There's a lot of people need it. I need it. I
Uh,
want it.
yeah.
So a lot of people gonna want it. And it's gonna be very interesting because it's kind of novel. It's not just kind of novel, it's like wholly novel. It's unique.
100%.
Literally unique. And the energy that he brings and the that the team brings, it's powerful, man.
Yeah. Uh,
And so that's why when he's like, okay, here it is. This is what we're gonna do. Boom, boom, boom. Took me about 3 seconds. I'm like, I'm in.
so
That sounds great. Let me do everything I can forever to to boost it. Okay.
absolutely.
So I say, man, how can I buy a share? It's like
How can I
it's like
get
I want
in?
to buy a share, man. This
Yeah.
sounds great.
How
Like,
can I get in?
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I invested in the Nakamoto personally. Um, I never really, man, you know what? In my position, to be honest, I've seen a lot of they put through people have put in front of me a lot of deals, tons of
Mhm.
deals,
Mhm.
deals for like this thing and that thing, tons of stuff that you've heard the name, tons.
Yeah.
And I saw it very early, maybe like really early. And I said like no to everything, everything, man. Companies that are now, I should have said yes to, for
Yeah.
sure. Companies that are now worth a lot of money. I
Mhm.
said no because I was just like, well, why? What am I gonna do that for? I just buy Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is investing in them anyway if they're doing it correctly.
Yeah.
To the extent that they're doing it correctly, buying the Bitcoin is investing in their company, in a way, investing in the whole network, the whole ecosystem. And if they're doing stuff that's not with Bitcoin, then I don't have to invest in that. That's not doing it correctly, in a way. So I've turned like everything down. I mean, not everything, some here and there, but like nothing compared to maybe what I should have or what I could have, or just nothing seemed, not very few things have seemed compelling to me when I finally, and this took longer than it should have, frankly, when I finally switched my brain over to like, okay, let's make sure that all these things are net positive Bitcoin. I'm not trying to get more US dollars.
Mhm.
Like that will clearly come if I get more Bitcoin. Like I'm trying to get more Bitcoin. Like what do I do? What job can I do? What work can I do? What value can I provide? How can I get more Bitcoin and also grow Bitcoin and you know, help do my small part to get us to that place in our inevitable incredible future
Yeah.
when we rocket ship when our ship finally lands, buddy, right on the
So
moon.
beyond the team, what else gave you the such high conviction to make this investment into Nakamoto?
Bitcoin. I like Bitcoin, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna buy tons of Bitcoin." I was like, "Hell yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it, baby. Let's buy Bitcoin." So what else are you gonna do? What else is there? I mean, the thing is proven out. All these guys got all these businesses, a lot of great businesses. Some of them I worked for, and uh I still hold in high regard, and clearly the market for many of them still holds them in high regard. But clearly, Saylor was like, "What? You guys were doing great. You built out this infrastructure, do that, but just buy it. Just buy
Yeah.
the Bitcoin if you can do it.
If you could
While
do
you
it.
can do it, like the success of MicroStrategy, what it really shows is that the market was desperate for this. They're desperate for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin, to despite the wonderful solutions people have built, there's some really incredible solutions, and obviously things are getting better and better in terms of infrastructure in many ways, not in every way, but in many ways. Um, but it was still a pain for a lot of people all over the world, including America, and it's hard to understand. It's really hard to understand the Bitcoin, especially like a lot of people listening to this, they understand Bitcoin very well. Well, think of like the context in your life and why that is, what the circumstance of how you were born and where you were born and what you were doing,
Yep.
and what your job was and what your parents' jobs were, and like all this stuff. A lot of people, it's not their fault. Some people it's their fault. Some some people it's clearly their fault, and like they'll capitulate eventually.
Yeah.
They all will, but some people, I feel bad for them. I feel bad.
Mhm.
It's like if you only are finding out about now, man, I really wish I could have told you about it 10 years ago. I was
Yeah.
trying my best. I was trying my best to tell as many people as possible. I was like an animal, like a
Yeah.
complete, not an animal, a complete psychopath for like 3 years. I had like no other tick. I
Yeah.
had to talk about it 24/7. Like, yo,
Yeah.
have you heard about this? And sometimes people would say, yes, I have heard. I'm like, oh, amazing. Like, what? Tell me about it.
Yeah.
If you heard about it, I want to know what you heard, because what I heard is there's only 21 million,
Mhm.
and it's anchored to reality with the whole network. It's like this has never existed before. This is a completely new thing. And so from an early on point, as I would think through Bitcoin for years and years, early on I realized uh just anyone that like I there was some critics, so I respect them. Still
Mhm.
today, of course, there's many
Yeah.
people who are critical of Bitcoin, like wholly, that I do respect a lot. But some when what but I kind of learned early on that if people were speaking with certainty about Bitcoin, then don't listen to anything else they're saying, because how can you be certain? This has never existed ever, never existed in all of human history ever. Now it exists.
Yeah.
It starts with zero people knowing about it, understanding it. Like, even Satoshi circa 22,009 is like You think he understood this? Yeah, not really, not fully, not totally. And everyone else besides him, good luck. This is very, very, very complicated and wholly unique. So, if someone even today in 2025 is going to speak with certainty, that this isn't going to work, or this is how it's going to play out, and maybe they're right. Of course, there's a chance they're right, because I don't have 100% certainty. I have 99, but I don't have 100. Okay, so anyway, what were we on about?
So yeah, we were just talking about how the other reasons why you're so bullish on Nakamoto beyond
Oh,
just the team.
Nakamoto.
Yeah, beyond
Yeah,
just
I like
the yeah.
Nakamoto.
So beyond the team, which I know you have a very strong history with,
I
going
like the team.
yeah. Uh, Understand that you're very passionate about the team and the conviction and the execution that the team has at BTC Inc. and Bitcoin Magazine. Beyond just that, and beyond just being a Bitcoin holding company, what else excites you about the Nakamoto opportunity? I could tell you that for me, I love that they're spreading it beyond the US and really spreading this out to the world. The idea that you could put a micro strategy in every country across the globe is extremely exciting, and
Oh, there's gonna
that's
be
how
a
we onboard the
there's
next billion users.
yeah, it potentially is how we do that, and there's a lot of capital markets on Earth, a lot.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of money in those capital markets, a lot. And a lot of that money, think about, here in America, people that not all of their money is free for them to use to do as they wish. If they have like 401ks or IRAs or whatever those things, I don't have any of those, but if they had those,
Hmm.
then those are like restricted. Those are,
Yeah.
this, and you can only do this and you can only do that, and it's locked to your, it's locked over till the end, and it's, till you're 65 years old or whatever it is. And that's just here. This is the biggest capital market, of course,
Yeah.
but that's just here. There's a lot of there's like, dozens, many dozens more. And a lot of nuance to them all. And, there's so many markets. And I was looking and I was like, oh, the Jamaican Stock Exchange, according to Wikipedia or something, the Jamaican Stock Exchange is like the smallest kind of functional, active stock exchange on Earth.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, oh, so how much you think is in there in the market cap of these companies? Oh, it's like $12 billion or something. Maybe it's more. I don't know. But I mean, this is like some memory. $12 billion. Wow, that's a lot of Bitcoin. You know, that's still a lot of
Yeah,
Bitcoin.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So if these guys in this Jamaican capital market were all just imagine, just imagine they
Mhm.
all were just to not tomorrow be like, okay, guys, what are they, the big Jamaican stock cartel all sat together, and they're like, guys, why don't we all do this at once? We'll all go to Bitcoin, like MicroStrategy, all at the same time. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. So all that money went to, to Bitcoin or whatever. That's still a lot of Bitcoin. That's enough Bitcoin for Jamaica to be a real mover should the Bitcoinization occur. When the Bitcoinization
Yeah,
occurs, after the hyper Bitcoinization has like swept all of human economic activity, and the Bitcoin is just the default unit of value. How, we talk about miles or kilograms or whatever. After all that, Jamaican capital markets could be pretty nice, pretty relevant.
yeah.
Not a lot of money in there because the Bitcoin is the money. The Bitcoin is the money. So
Yeah.
get the money now. There's a new money. Most people don't know. They haven't gotten the memo. They didn't fucking digest the memo correctly. They got the memo, they scammed it. They skimmed the memo. They're like, oh, I don't understand this. But the memo's out. We put the memo's out. David
Yeah.
Bailey got the memo. You know what I mean? Tyler Evans got the memo. All these eggheads over there, they got the memo. They read
It's
they read the memo. They were checking their emails bright and early in the morning. They read the memo years ago, and they're like, okay, I get it. There's a new money. Now what do we do? Oh my God, there's a new money. This is like it's here.
It's incredible that nobody, I mean, that it's taken so long for this to really catch on, and it really hasn't even started
No,
yet. I
I
mean,
disagree. I think it's caught on insanely fast.
mhm,
More than I could have imagined, literally.
yeah,
Because I would sit around, I was lucky. I was in New York City, like obsessed with Bitcoin. I was, doing it, grinding full time, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. I met some very smart people very early on, like serious smart people, like
yeah,
double my IQ,
yeah,
talking about Bitcoin with them. And I say, oh, well, this might happen in 10 years, and this might happen. Well, it happened in 2 years, 3 years.
yeah,
Oh, well, maybe in 20 years, so it would be like dreaming up some like uh, complete sketched out rough draft nonsense version of MicroStrategy. Like, oh, something like that. You do like this. And what about insurance? And what about, oh yeah, maybe in like 30 years something like that could happen.
yeah.
It's here now. A lot of stuff is here now. Like this is moving. This train is not slow in terms of like the chunking up in the course of human endeavors. Like this is lightning speed.
Uh,
Lightning speed. And it makes sense as lightning speed because it never existed. Nothing like this ever existed. Now it's here. People are understanding. And then as people understand, they're telling their friends and family, like, yo, you need to understand this. This is here. It's happening. It's happening fast. And there's a new money. There's a new money. Get the memo. The sooner you get the memo, the sooner you read the memo, the sooner you stop what you're doing and like, you know, uh, do your reading comprehension exercise that your teacher wrote about the memo so you can make sure you really understand the memo. The sooner you understand the memo, man, the better it's going to be for you and me and everyone,
yeah,
because you will have to capitulate. Your business will have to capitulate. Your institution will have to capitulate. You will have to. You will be forced to. Just like when, like if you're sick with the virus, the fiat virus, whatever. If you're sick with a virus, and I give you the cure, eventually your pinky's gonna have to capitulate. It's gonna be cured, even if
yeah.
it doesn't want to be cured, man. Like they might not want to be cured. Maybe that's how the virus is working. It makes you think you don't want to be cured. Makes you think
So
the virus is what's helping you. The virus is what's building you. The virus is essential to thing, and you're scared. Oh no, I've been sick for so long. I can't live healthfully. That's when you will capitulate. I mean, it's not like a mean thing. I'm not saying it like, haha, I'm right. I'm saying it like it's never existed before. This never existed. If you are so sure that this is not going to work, if you're so sure, then I mean, I don't know. Then maybe that's a great personality trait. You can be so sure that this thing that's completely wholly unique in human history has never existed before, and
mhm,
you're gonna grok it in 1 year. You're gonna understand it in 1 year and know, oh yeah, that can never work because blah blah blah. That can never work because the the government will just stop it. It's like, okay, well, why will the government stop it? Oh, because it's working so well.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, oh, it's the money now.
Yeah,
Bitcoin is the money. And so now the government's going to stop it.
yeah.
So that's why I won't buy any today. Okay, so you're saying I'm just going to be, they're going to be mean to me. They're going to oppress me. So let me go slink down in the corner and be oppressible so they won't hurt me extra.
Yeah.
Is that the mindset?
No, that's crazy.
Come,
Yeah,
come and take it. What the fuck? If I see it's the money, I want the money. I don't want the dog shit.
yeah,
I don't want it. I want the money. And if they're gonna come try to beat me up for the money, I'm not gonna just say, "Oh, okay. Let me just throw all my money out. Let me leave all my money outside my front door
mhm,
because so where they can just come and take it because they're gonna take it anyway. So I'll just sit in here all safe and sound. And if I don't say a word, then maybe no one will beat me up."
yeah,
Like, how do you not know that this? You're gonna say for sure that this isn't the money? Come on, man. It's never existed before. It has properties that are wholly unique to it in human history that have never existed before. And you're going to tell me, oh, you're 100% sure that it's not the money?
yeah.
Come on, bro.
No, it's crazy. And to go back to my comment, I know. I mean, look, I'm really more on the outside of the Bitcoin community looking in. You're a lot deeper than me.
You seem pretty deep in here to
Yeah,
me, man.
you're a lot deeper in the game.
You're here. You seem so, but okay, if that's what you say, if you say
No,
so.
I mean, kind of where I'm going with that is that, you know, I made the comment that it's surprising to me that this hasn't caught on a lot faster, being Bitcoin Treasury company adoption. You're saying that it's moved faster than you anticipated, but
Oh, maybe.
my point where I was going with that is that, I mean, look, for the first one, okay, before it's been done before, I get it, but I mean, come on. MicroStrategy printed 100x. Metaplanet printed over a 300x. You think people would be gripping over themselves to try to implement a Bitcoin treasury
Yeah.
strategy, and people are still deliberating in boardrooms whether or not to even do this. It's insane to me.
Well, then you have some opportunity, I think.
That's where the opportunity is. And look, I mean, and to
Yeah.
that point, I think the smart ones are seeing it, identifying it, and executing on it. I'm looking at you, and I'm looking at that Abraj hat, and I think that's the perfect example. I mean, the team over at Abraj, I mean, high level executors, high IQ. I have full faith in that team.
They seem great. Yeah.
There, I mean, look, I mean,
Seems great,
the
I think.
action, the actions speak louder than words, and look at what they've done. They are the first Bitcoin treasury company in the entire Middle East. I'm bullish.
I'm bullish too. I've been spent a lot of time in the Middle East, trying to build Bitcoin business, understand how the Bitcoin infrastructure will grow there. And I met I met Abdullah from Braj many years ago. So, and he seemed very clued in at the time. And, seems like now he's more clued in than ever. And also, everyone else there is too. It is very impressive. I went to the headquarters, the Abraj headquarters.
Yeah, yeah. I want to
And
hear all
well, let me
about it.
tell you all about the Braj headquarters. It's amazing. The downstairs is the original Al Abraj restaurant. Been there since I believe 1987. You walk in, incredible like copper hammered oven. Like it's a nice place, man. This
Yeah.
is not like a I don't want to offend anybody, but it's a nice place. A lot of great places. This one's also one of them. And
I know that for a fact because when you came back from the first time from Bahrain, this is the only thing you could talk about. And you told me that of your entire stay, I think it was like for a week, you ate there every single day, and multiple days you repeated days.
yeah.
Like that was like
No, I ate
the
there every
only
meal.
restaurant you wanted to go to.
No, of course. I like a brunch. I like it, and I ate their breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they're very nice guys over there. So the day before I was leaving, they said, "Oh, let us take you to this restaurant." And yeah, for the first few minutes, I just assumed, "Oh, we're going to one of their restaurants."
Yeah.
They have 11, 12 concepts. Wonderful restaurants. So I went to not just Al Abraj, that brand. I went to other brands. We had a lot of restaurants.
Uh-huh.
All of them Abraj restaurant group restaurants. Really
Yes.
great. And then we were on the way to the restaurant. He said, "Oh, they just opened this one." It's who do you mean they just opened? They did. Oh, it's an Argentine steakhouse. I mean, you opened Argentine? No, this guy I know. It's like this isn't a brush. I was like almost offended.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I want to support Bitcoin.
Mhm.
When I buy the hummus, I want to be buying the Bitcoin. If I go to
Yes.
a barrage, I buy hummus. I know, okay, they're gonna take some of my fills. They buy some Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's like I get a little cash back reward, but straight to the Bitcoin network.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, well, if I buy this Argentine steakhouse, I'm sure it's great. I mean, it is great. We did eat there. It was great. It was, I got over it in a minute after a few minutes. It was a nice restaurant, So okay, but there, what is happening? I'm paying with the fiat, and then the money goes. They deposit it in their fiat bank. The fiat bank hypothecates it 10 times, and then blah blah blah. If I go to a Braj
Mhm.
and I buy a Bahraini tikka, which is incredible with the dried, like the black lemon, the
Mhm.
dried lemon, like really, that's like, I guess the signature dish of Bahrain is really something, man. I love it. I'm gonna make it at my house. And I buy a Bahraini tikka for a few dinars. Why, no, okay. We get a few fills are going into the Bitcoin network. They're going out of that fiat virus and they're being cured. You know, we have a little bit of cure.
Yeah.
Every time I eat a bite of hummus, I get a little cure.
Yeah.
The world gets cured a little by little, like the drip, like an IV.
Yep. Yep.
Raj
Yep.
just put a
Yep.
little IV into the GCC,
Yep.
and
Yep.
they say, "Okay, guys, you're gonna be fine.
Yep.
Don't worry. We're here, Abraj Restaurant Group.
Mm-hmm.
We're a Bitcoin first company. We're a
Yes.
Bitcoin treasury company. We're a Bitcoin reserve company. That is the denominator for Abraj Restaurant Group. That is our asset. And we're going to sell hummus to buy Bitcoin, and we are going to cure the world of the fiat virus."
Yeah.
That's me saying that, but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Absolutely.
tasty.
I mean, look, I would say I would put you in at the absolute top of the list for Bitcoin experts in the Middle East. So
Okay,
I would love
I'll
to
take it.
hear. Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
do believe you've probably collectively spent more time in the Middle East as a Bitcoiner than I don't know. There's probably you could probably count
I
them
can
on
say
one
I was
hand.
I believe, I mean, I don't know for sure. I believe that I was the first completed trade on local Bitcoin in Dubai
Hmm.
in 2014.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't, because they did show it, so I think I saw like on the website at first. But if I wasn't the first, I promise you there wasn't very many because I was posting on there and it wasn't like the meetup had 5 people,
Yeah.
4 people or something, maybe 6. And then I've been going since then all the time. Been working, So in my time at Kraken, I helped to create the advise, not create. I helped to advise them and help brainstorm with my own small part when they made what at the time I believe was the first license in the world that was like native Bitcoin or crypto exchange license. And
Yeah.
I worked a lot in the Middle East, spent a lot of time in the Middle East, lived there for some time. um would be happy to live there again. I love it.
So
So
I mean, I think
I'm bullish on the Middle East.
yeah.
The Middle East has a ton of capital. It has a lot of smart people, a lot. And I believe the Middle East is kind of, when it comes to all that capital, is relatively under opportunityed in general, actually, in a way, but especially with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Um, but there's a lot of people there that get it, like the team at Abraj. And so now it's inevitable. It's going to take it's the money. So we'll see what happens. It's great. I'm bullish Abraj. I like the stock.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too. I mean, whenever you're the first, I do believe there's going to be very clear first mover advantages. So
Definitely.
just that alone, for forget the team, forget the operating a business, just the fact that this is the first Bitcoin treasury company in the entire Middle East, I think the opportunity is enormous.
Oof. Yeah, that's an understatement.
So
Like
yeah, what
imagine when the new money came, when the new money was invented, the first people that realized the new money's here, they had quite the first mover advantage, right?
yeah, yeah.
So the first corporations that realize, oh, it's the new money is here. That's the money now. So let's try to make a business that gets money.
Mhm.
Let's try to make a business that makes money.
Mhm.
And the money is the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So m- the first corporates that get that, just like the first people that got that, they're gonna, maybe it's good. Maybe.
What I mean, if we could kind of drill down on that, what are the implications you think this is going to have for the Middle East as a whole?
Ooh, flying cars and, the sky, bridges, elevators to space, the whole nine. Like this is like the Middle East and beyond. I believe, maybe if it's if we collectively, eg- uh, squeeze this lemon for even half of its juice,
Yeah.
that an economic golden age that humanity has never seen before is completely possible.
Wow.
Uh,
Can you repeat that, because I think it's worth repeating, right?
Say like a post-Bitcoinized world when the every market and every person and every corporation and every nonprofit and every institution and every fund and every fund of funds and every pension fund and every school child and uh everyone,
Everybody.
when they have accepted, just like they've accepted that
Mm-hmm.
my that when I go this distance I use kilometers.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, if you ask me how far is that, I'll say, oh, it's this many. Well, I speak miles, but all that matters is that it's consistent.
Yes.
That it's a consistent unit of measure.
Yes.
In the past, that wasn't how the world works. Like the unit of measures change. Oh, this king is his foot is
Mm-hmm.
9 inches long, so now that's a foot.
Yeah.
And you say, oh, I'm a blacksmith over here, and oh, now there's another foot
Mm-hmm.
because the king died, and now his
Mm-hmm.
son's in
Mm-hmm.
charge,
Mm-hmm.
and he's huge. His feet is 13 inches.
Yeah.
So now that, or whatever, 13, whatever the hell they were using for whatever, because
Yeah.
it wouldn't even be that it's 13 inches. It'd be like, it's this long now,
Mm-hmm.
because we don't have the inch. We don't have the consistent, universal unit of standard.
Yeah.
Imagine imagine every day when you're speaking English, you say, oh, here's the new words for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Mm-hmm.
we're calling this a schnugger, and
Yeah.
now we're calling this a pistot.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, can you hand me the hat? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's a pistot now.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be complicated. Well,
Yeah.
that's what they're doing when they have with this fake money. That's what they do. They're like, they go and sit around a table and they're saying, now we're calling this pistot.
Yeah.
It's the same. There's not the you need If you're going to measure value, you need a consistent universal unit of measure. Like, period. How can you measure the
Yeah.
value when nobody knows what it is you're measuring it with? What is a dollar? Can you tell me what a dollar is? Do you know what a
Yeah.
dollar is?
Yeah. So
Think
you're
about it. Try to answer that question. What is a dollar? You're grinding. You're on the hamster wheel. And
yeah.
you wake up every day, you're like, okay, I got to get money. I got to get a dollar. I need a dollar. I need a dollar. What are you getting?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Yeah.
All right? Like, if every day the unit of measure, your car odometer, you don't know how far that means because they changed it a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It used to be I go to the airport here, it's 10 miles. Now it's 12 miles because they changed it.
Yeah.
It'll make things complicated. It'll
Yeah.
make life more complicated by a
No.
lot. All
Absolutely.
right? And this is even worse than that times a million,
Mm-hmm.
because the people who are sitting around the table, that they're the ones that get to change, now the dollar's this, now the dollar's that.
Yeah.
They're doing it because they got a spigot and they got their friends, drinking straight out of the spigot. You're right at the teat. They're getting right at the teat, and then we're the rest of the world, 99.9% of humanity, is just waiting outside the barn to maybe they get a drop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I
And
know
now we
exactly
have
what
a
you mean.
universal, consistent unit of measure for economic activity. It is the money. It is going to take over. It is going to be the kilometer. And so it's better, if you're into doing things and executing, that you have a consistent unit of measure. If you're going to NASA and you're saying every 12 months we got to switch over, every 12 weeks, oh, now it's a new unit of measure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, no, build a spaceship. Good. And then when the thing takes off, it blows up.
Yeah.
It's not going to be any surprises. You made it more complicated than it needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Once they made the kilometer, it's nice. It's consistent. It's universal. You can wake up tomorrow, what a kilometer, that you go to the airport is 10 kilometers. And then I wake up in 6 years and it's 10 kilometers. And then I die and move on, and my great grandkids wake up and they're like, that's where the airport used to be. Well, let's go see the airport museum. It's 10 kilometers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, you're
so I want that. I want to speak that language. I don't want the language that they're trying to tell me at gunpoint. No, this is the actual. No, no, you're wrong. That's not the money. No, no, no. This is the money. Whatever you guys got over there, cool. Okay, you play with that. Let that be for whoever believes it whenever they believe it. I don't believe it.
yeah.
This is the money.
So
Okay?
you're envisioning a world instead of having, whatever it is, however many hundred plus currencies fluctuating on a daily basis on a floating exchange rate, all going to just one unit of account, and that being Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man,
And that is
Bitcoin is the money, and
that's the bold
I
vision.
think for at least a century to come, likely. I mean, the other monies are going to exist, and even under the gold standard, there was a lot of monies on top of it. But probably what is going to happen is like I something I can't even think of, because somebody who's like going to be 10 times smarter than me, that was born yesterday down the street, is going to think of it,
Yeah.
and then work with someone else that's not even born for another 10 years, and they're going to think of that. And so the that's why I say, like, it's the what this could lead to is immense change, immense societal economic change, immense. And when I say immense, it's so immense that I don't think I could really correctly understand it,
Yeah.
because I'm here. It's like, you know, I'm limited,
And look,
but
I
the
mean,
potential is unlimited.
the potential is unlimited, and every single person that we get onto a Bitcoin standard is one step closer to that bold vision of hyper Bitcoinization that you just described.
Yeah, that's why we want to set the people free and show them, that this is the money. This is the new universal, consistent unit of measure for your time and value and XYZ. When you get up at day, I mean, I'm not saying don't work. You gotta work. Let's do it. Let's like build a inevitable, incredible future. Let's build a better world. You got to get up and work. You need to use the money is one of the most important things that there is. It's one of the most important tools that humanity has ever invented. And now they invented the best version of it that ever had been before. This is the best version. Maybe there'll be better versions someday. I don't know if I could even think of like half of why the next version would come. Then maybe it would already be here.
Yeah.
But so far, this is the best version.
So far, this is the best version. So this is
Yeah,
what we got to work with.
yeah, it seems good to me. So maybe later I will be disenchanted. Maybe in 50 years I'll be like, oh, well, it could have been this and this and this, and it's
Yeah.
not, and I'm sure that'll happen. But it seems like a vast improvement on the archaic technology. It's like this is like the level of improvement is much more so than like listening to CDs versus cassettes,
Yeah.
or this is like beyond that. This is like going from no like before the camera is even invented to like the sphere,
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
you know
Or
like I didn't
yeah, from going from beeper to, iPhone 16.
beyond that.
Beyond that. Yeah.
This is like you're in the camera obscura, what do they call it, camera obscurica or whatever, and you got the image project. You know what that is?
No, I
It's
don't
like they
even know
used
what
to
that
make a
is.
big
No.
box, and then they put a tiny hole, and then it would act as a camera, literally like a big
Mhm.
giant camera that you
Okay,
stand
yeah, yeah,
inside,
I've seen that.
and
Yeah,
then you
I've seen the
trace, and it
picture.
would be
Mhm.
upside down and backwards because
Yes.
it's the inverse image. It's like
I
going
didn't know
from,
that was what it was called.
well, I can't even articulate the word, so maybe it's not. But that's like going from that, not even
Mhm.
like a still camera with film or whatever, to the sphere flying in space.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what are you doing tonight? Oh, let's go see a show. Well, the show is you get into the sphere, it rockets into space, you're chilling in space while they show you some crazy movie that's 3D, and
Yeah.
in your gets in, reading your mind, the who knows what. But that's the level. It's like,
Yeah.
to say this is a technological advancement is true, and also in like insane comical understatement
Yeah.
also.
Yeah. That's a
Okay,
very good point.
I think we gotta tap out here, man.
Well, I think that's a great place to cut it off. Austin, I could keep going with you for hours and hours and days, and
Well, I like you too. We
I've
could maybe someday.
all right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure having Austin Alexander here on the Naka Nation podcast. We're definitely going to be filming a lot more of these.
You know
this is
what?
just part one. This is just the beginning. So make sure to tune in.
I really enjoyed this. After this experience, I think I might go home and buy a share.
Are you going to buy a share?
I might buy a
Because
share.
I think I might just have to go buy
I
a
w-
share.
I was gonna go get a hot dog downstairs, but instead, I think I'll buy a share.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I thought I was going to go get a hamburger, but
Well, a
instead,
hamburger at this place, you could probably buy two shares.